welcome to Monday Night Live in Lexington. How are you guys this evening?
Good evening.
Good evening. Guess who I have here?
David.
Let's see, real quick. What's for dinner, David?
Well, Kat made fresh bread today, so I thought I would make a sardine bake, a very small sardine bake for us to share.
Oh.
And I'm going to make some baked patatas bravas to have with it. So keep it simple, keep it safe.
Kind of a Spanish type dinner, sort of a tapas.
To go with my mustache. Have a good night.
See you later. So, now everybody knows what I'm going to be inviting in this evening. We kind of stumbled upon the topic of this last week when we were talking about orgone pyramids and how to cleanse and how to recharge stuff. And it dawned on me that we hadn't really done a show on how to properly cleanse and clear your gemstones and all the different, like there's a bunch of different techniques. Let's go to the chat and see who all's here this evening. Hey to Pamela Downey, Sheila Sunley, yay, you're on time. Greta Handshoe, Anna Thompson, Dana Likens Fleener. Sheila loves your beard, David. I don't know if he can still hear me or not, but hey to my friend Yasmin Jadoon and Joe Bruce. Good to see you, and Barbara Bacon. And we're going to be talking about a couple of things from Barbara's shop. Hey to Soul You Center over here on Instagram. Thanks for joining this evening. So let me go to our QR codes for this evening. We're going to be talking about a couple of items from Crystal Crazy Shop, and so you probably will want to scan the QR code to the side of me, and that will take you to the Facebook page. And all the stuff that we're going to talk about this evening can be shipped. If you live in an area and you're not local and you need to have it shipped, don't worry. It can be shipped. And for those of you on Instagram, the name of the shop is Barb's Crystal Crazy Shop. Hey to James Hector. Good to see you tonight. Thanks for joining. So, yeah, don't forget everything that we're talking about can be shipped. And we're going to be talking about a lot of different stuff. I'm going to put the support to stream up because it is kind of expensive to run all the equipment involved to give you the show. And so if you feel inclined to make a $5 donation, every little bit helps. Let me tell you, in these times, every little bit helps because each piece of equipment that goes down and has to be replaced can really add up to a lot of stuff. Now, let's see. So if you want to support the show, scan the QR code and it will take you to a PayPal link where you can leave $1, $2, or maybe $5, whatever you're inclined to do. We're going to be talking about a lot of different techniques tonight for cleansing gemstones. And I want to remind you that next Monday night is the April Dream Interpretation Show. And so if you want to send your dream in to be interpreted, I am going to leave the email in the comments. Let me get it typed in. Just email your dream for interpretation for it, and it's an anonymous interpretation, so you don't have to worry about your name being broadcast or anything. It's a totally anonymous interpretation, so no problem. All you have to do to get your interpretation is just watch the show, and I do the interpretations for free. Hey to Judy Roberts. Good to see you tonight. Glad that you could join. Okay, so and I will try to watch for your questions. So maybe just give me a minute I have to switch back and forth through the screens to catch any questions. So clearing techniques for gemstones, there are so very many. And what this is it refers to the removal process of excess energy accumulators in an object. Most likely crystals that are used in like energy work or heavily used in protective work, those need to be cleared and cleansed on a regular basis. And clearing and cleansing, what that does is it recalibrates the energy by changing the vibrational frequency or getting rid of excess attachments to that energy. So we're going to be talking about several different types. We make sure I'm checking for questions here. Several different types. Let's see. Oh, go back to the chat. Okay, just checking for questions. So let's talk about the first thing that I love to use for cleansing and clearing of gemstones or platforms. Okay, platforms are used as a kind of a layer to place your gemstones, and you can also use this for your jewelry on top of, and that will recalibrate, cleanse, and we're going to go through each one. Let me show you the first one that I talked about last week. And this is on my Amazon shop. And this kind of prompted the show, was actually the use of pink Himalayan salt. Now, salt is extremely grounding and detoxifying in its energetic components. And so what it does is it directs the energy away or pulls the energy away from the object that you've been utilizing. And I have one here I'm going to show you guys. You can get them on Amazon as it's a cooking block, really. God, this thing, I didn't realize how heavy this is going to be, but it's a cooking block, okay? And so they're not too expensive. Like the one that I'm picturing here, I think is maybe $30, but you can just leave this out on your dresser, but be sure you put something to protect the wood under the block on the dresser, like a tray, maybe a baking tray or something, because the salt will kind of degrade the wood and the finish on the top of your dresser. But you would lay this on a tray on top of your dresser and then put your items on top of it. So you can lay whatever jewelry that you've used, gemstone jewelry that you've used through the day. Maybe you had a quartz crystal in your pocket, or maybe use some obsidian to nullify some of the negative energies around you. Lay those on there, leave them on there overnight, and that will ground out pretty much anything that has come into contact with during the day. And the cooking salt blocks, like I said, are not very expensive. It is, the one that I have is pretty heavy. And so that's one that I think it's this one right here that I put up on the thing. Okay, so another platform. Now, these platforms are not only available on my Amazon shop, but they're also available at Crystal Crazy. So if you want a selenite platform, scan the QR code, send a message to the shop Crystal Crazy and ask them if they have any more of these. And this is one of the smaller selenite platforms that Barbara has had at her shop before. And so this is a really nice one to set things on top of, to round out the energy. Now let's talk about selenite for a minute. Selenite is the vibrational frequency of white light and purity, and this provides a positive push type of energy that displaces any negative energy that might be lingering in an object. Selenite also makes a good grid to protect the home's energy from malevolent spiritual entry. And so there are pieces of the selenite that you can buy to place over your windows and doors to make sure that we have like a protective grid that is set up to keep negative energies out from your home. Okay, I'm looking to see. Okay, so the other, I'm looking to see on my list what else we have. Now, in my shop, let's say you're not really drawn to a platform, maybe try this, which is a selenite crystal bowl, and that will hold the items a little bit better. And I'm really sorry that you guys on Instagram can't see the QR codes. I urge you to go to the Facebook page or maybe YouTube to see the QR codes. Now, I do earn a commission off of my Amazon shop. It's a huge amount, maybe 10 cents. So, but I have to tell you, I do earn 10 cents if you buy something. So, it's kind of funny, but I love having the shop. Because I get to share my favorite things with you guys, you know, and to me, that's kind of a big, that jazzes me up when I get to share my stuff. Now, here's another one that you can use as a platform, but let me tell you, you're going to have to make sure that the obsidian that you buy is thick enough and that it won't crack or break when you set your items on top of there, because you see how thin that obsidian mirror is? So you would only be able to set small items, but like maybe your jewelry or maybe some small gemstones on top of that obsidian mirror. And that will definitely remove some of the negative energy that has attached to your gemstones. So obsidian, or you can use a hematite mirror. And these objects remove negative or malevolent energies because black absorbs light, and it helps remove any entity that's made from light radiation. Let me check for questions. So Barbara says, selenite charging pads are our #1 choice. We can make any size. That is awesome. So you really just need to message at the Crystal Crazy site. Let me go back to that message at the Crystal Crazy site, and the scan code will take you to the Facebook page. Just message there and ask what sizes, or let them know what sizes you might need. So you can also do a hematite mirror as a platform, or they may even have hematite slabs. I'm not sure if Barbara would have those, but I'm sure she could probably obtain that for you. So, but that is a really good device to use to remove negative energies. I'm tongue-tied this evening. So we went over the salt block, which grounds and detoxifies, and it directs the energy away from the objects. Now here's another one. I'm going to leave Crystal Crazy's scan code up there, because aerosolized particles that are short-acting and penetrate small cracks. These can be air type of objects, or you know, like smoke, or essential oil sprays. Now this is Angel Speak. It is a spray. Oh, let me try and get it to focus here. I may have to put the paper up behind it. Angel Speak. This is a spray that's provided by Crystal Crazy. I'm not sure. I don't think it's gonna, but you can see there are gemstones in the bottom of the spray, and it's made from a special water. And if Barbara will chime in and let me know, this is the Holy Waters from Lourdes. And she has a lot of other sprays in the shop as well. And this is a really nice product to have when you're trying to clear out any kind of negative energy or instill positive energies. This is a super one. I think there's another one that is used. I think, Barbara, I can't remember the name of it, but it is a redirectional spray that takes the energy of what's there and redirects it to a different area or different space. But these can, the selenite platforms and the spray can both be obtained from Crystal Crazy. So just scan the QR code and she will definitely hook you up. Now, here's a cautionary note when you're using any kind of water or spray or essential oils. Always check to see if that gemstone can tolerate being in contact with water or with essential oils, because some gemstones, such as gypsum, it will completely degrade the gemstone. So Barbara says we import the water from Lourdes, France, then each spray contains high frequency gemstones. And I can vouch for the efficacy of these. They're very wonderful. And I love the addition of the gemstones in the bottom, as you can see. Okay. Really, really nice. Instagram. Well, I wish Instagram you could see these QR codes because they are so cool. I love using them. All right, so let's carry on, because when we're talking about aerosolized things, I wanted to mention, because in previous times we used smoke, and so but here's an essential oil of white sage and Palo Santo that is really good to use, that you can put in, like if you want to make your own spray, you could you're not going to have the healing waters of Lourdes, but I always suggest maybe spring water with an essential oil if you're tight on your budget, and then this type of oil you can use to anoint over the windows and doors of your home, and you can also put some in for a spray. Here is a sage bundle. So the smoke, or the aerosolized part that's smoke, is smudging sage, rosemary, peppermint, Palo Santo, pinyon wood, cedar wood. And you can see they have a really nice little sage variety pack, white sage, blue sage bundles, and these are on my Amazon shop, and they're super nice to use. I love the most using either cedarwood or blue sage, because what I'm hearing from people these days is the regular sage or the white sage is not working as well as it used to in the past. So what we're doing is trying to kind of mix it up and get some other things, other energies involved here to make it kind of a new energy. Special shout out to my lovely friend, Miss Barbara Kelly. Barbara Bacon said, okay, here's the name of the spray. I couldn't remember the name of it. The Transformational Gateway allows whatever negative energy to go to their home or their origin, not where you are, but where their origin is. Sorry. And it does have sage essential oil in it. Awesome. So yeah, you would just have to be careful about what gemstone that you're using the spray on, as long as it has the essential oil, or if it is a gemstone that degrades easily in water. Okay, I'm just checking the time to see how we're doing, and we're doing fine. So light waves use radiation to change the vibration of the object. So when we're talking about light waves, we're talking about sunlight and moonlight specifically. Now, moonlight is an indirect or reflected light that captures the energies of the moon and the sun. So you have kind of an evening or double effect when you're using moonlight. And while we're discussing moonlight, let me put up the Palo Santo there for you. These are the sticks that you can burn. So, when we see the moon at night, what we're looking at is a reflected light from the sun. And so we're not only getting the surface element energies of the moon, but we're also getting reflected energy of the sun. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 effect when you put your stones out in the moonlight. The other advantage to moonlight is that moonlight will not degrade the color of the gemstone. But again, putting your if it's outside, if you're putting them outside, you're going to have to make sure that it doesn't rain and degrade your gemstones if you put them outside. But certainly if you place them on the ledge of a windowsill and it has the moonlight shining down on it, that's a win-win situation. Now, moonlight is more connected to right brain energy and female aspects, which are also connected to right brain energy. So if you are wanting, or if you're doing a lot of research and practice in the psychic arts and you want to boost that, definitely recharge in moonlight for whatever you're using. Now, flip side, sunlight is also used, which is direct radiation from the sun or solar energy. It's bright, it's warming. Again, cautionary note, there are a lot of crystals that are very sensitive to light, and the colors will fade and bleach out in sunlight because, our little gemstones love to be in the shadows and beneath earth, and, past quartz crystal and things that are bright and shiny like that, sometimes the dark kind of benefits in keeping the color wavelength of that gemstone. Let me make sure that we don't have anything going on in the chat. Okay, we're good. Let's see what else I've got in the mix for tonight. Let's do a quick shout out to our friends over at Hitch to Homicide. These are friends of mine that have a true crime podcast. It is a wife and husband duo, Chris Calvert and Rob Potroff. And they are so hilarious in presenting this material. And the stories are very, very interesting. So if you want to listen to a really good true crime podcast, they're also on YouTube. Scan the QR code. It will take you to their site, and you can choose which platform you want to listen to. And another producer of the show, Instacart, which I use all the time because, like, today I was like, do I work? Do I do taxes? Or do I go to the grocery? And, sometimes there's not an option to do everything, and you have to choose. And I don't like doing that because I don't like to cut things short. So, and I think the first order off of your Instacart is free delivery, which, hey, that's a bonus right now when gas is so expensive. Hey to Zarzar Crystals over here on Instagram. Good to see you. So just scan the QR code. It will take you to Instacart, and the first order should be free. Let me know if it's not, because that's what they told me. Also have an advanced psychic protection course available on my website. If you want to know more about psychic protection, just scan that QR code. It will take you to the website, and you will get a downloadable PDF and a webinar video that goes with that. All right, let's finish this up. Some people use water or salt water to cleanse their crystals. I think that that's fine as long as the crystal it's not a soft one that degrades in water. And specifically, when you add salt to the water, it has like a double degrading effect. And I think a long time ago, when I first got my hands on selenite, I did like a saltwater wash over something after using it on somebody who was very toxic and negative, and it just completely dissolved the whole outer layer of that polished selenite. So I learned my lesson on that. Now I go with, the tried and true things that I know are not going to hurt my gemstones, which is, the selenite platform or selenite bowl, the obsidian platform, um, the salt block that we talked about. That is so cleansing and grounding. And it really takes away that negative energy. So I've kind of gotten away from using water or salt water for any type of clearing. Now we're going to talk about vibrational techniques. So these would be singing bowl. I thought I had one put up on my QR codes over here, but maybe I didn't. I do have some Tibetan singing bowls on the list on my Amazon shop, but I didn't put any up here for you this evening. But they are on the Amazon shop. So you can use Tibetan bowls, you can use crystal bowls, drums, tuning forks, anything with the vibrational quality that will move through the object that you're trying to clear. Yes, Barbara says salt can be really rough. And Cesaria Luna says, thank you for the info. No problem. Glad to share it with you guys. So, if you don't have a lot of money, I would go with a tuning fork. Tuning fork is probably the least amount of money that you would want to spend. You're just going to hit that tuning fork beside the crystal and let the waves of the vibration flow through that. Now, here, cautionary note with vibrational therapy is that some gemstones have like intrinsic cracks that you might not notice or you might not even see. Hey to Ina over here on Instagram. And the vibration could go ahead and fracture some of the gemstones that you have. It has happened to me before. Even if it is not a real loud vibration, it might just do that. If you don't have any equipment, you can use the vibrations or frequencies that the instruments put out over a video. Like if you want to pull up a Tibetan bowl video on YouTube and you want to set your gemstones in front of the speakers, that is perfectly all right to use those frequencies from the video. Now, they're not going to be quite as effective as the vibration being right there from the instrument, but I think that it is sometimes just as good. So just remember that some gemstones may crack if they already have that intrinsic crack within them that the vibration could cause to go ahead and complete. Now, in the old days, when I first started clearing gemstones, here's two things that we used in the old days that people don't talk about anymore. Not sure why, but let me go ahead and put up this. Now, that's a selenite crystal bowl that I have on my little Amazon shop. But if you want to get a really nice one like this, any size to your order, that's when you need to contact Crystal Crazy here. Okay. Okay, so these two are ones that we used in the old days. And that is earth and sand. Okay. The crystals come out of the ground pure. Their resonant frequencies are so beneficial when they first come out of the earth in the mine. And so if you want to use those energies, to me, that is the most clearing and most cleansing thing that you can use. So I love to, when I get a chance, either take a bowl of earth in from the backyard and put it in the bowl and then lay the crystals on top of it. Or in the old days, what I did was I just took the crystals out to the backyard and laid them out on the earth overnight and let all the clearing and cleansing take place. And then I went out the next morning and pulled those in, and they were good to go. Now, sand, if you, let's say you live in a city, an apartment building, you don't have any earth, get a little bowl of sand, and you can use that. You can use the sand. You can also, let's say you can't get a salt block and you're restricted. You could use powdered salt in a nice little bowl. You can also add a little salt to the sand. Be sure that you consecrate all these things that you're going to use before you put your crystals on top of it, to make sure that you're kind of putting a good protective energy into the space. And I forgot to tell you guys, or maybe I did tell you guys, don't forget that the dream show interpretation is coming up next Monday. And so if you want to have your dream interpreted anonymously on the show, I'll go ahead and leave the link again in the comments. I'm remembering now, we talked about it at the beginning of the show, but I'll leave it in there again. Send your dream in, and I will discuss the analysis of it on the show. Again, it's done anonymously, so you don't have to worry about your name being mentioned. And the purpose of doing the dream analysis show is to kind of let you guys see how to walk through an interpretation so that you can use that to your benefit for the future. So these are all the different ways of using clearing and cleansing techniques to help your gemstones work more effectively. And, you know, many times I'll get clients who come in and they'll have on a ton of gemstones, and they really, I hate this, but they really have no life in them. Like the gemstones, I can feel that are all, like they have them all over their neck and their arms, and I feel no energy from them, is because they have been taking on and taking on and taking on so much energy that they're ineffective, and like the life force in them is almost gone. So it's super important to keep your gemstones cleared and cleansed. You know, let them help each other by using the selenite. You can also use like a kyanite platform. You're going to have to get kind of a big piece and be real careful with the size of the ones that you place on the kyanite platform. But kyanite is another really good gemstone that you can use for clearing and cleansing of whatever you've got there. Again, if you want to support the stream, there's a little QR code, and I do appreciate all you guys that are interested and have shown up tonight. Let me check one more time for any kind of questions, and I want to thank you guys for tuning into the show. Don't forget, next week is the dream show, dream interpretation, and then I've got some surprises for you in the month of April past that. I'll go get my sardine dinner now. We'll see how that goes next week. We'll talk about that. I hope you guys have a fabulous week. If you're on the YouTube site, I'm going to leave in the show notes afterwards a link to my new YouTube channel. Please subscribe to it and give it a like and a follow. And I'm trying to put all the Monday night material over on the other channel, because I want to use this channel for teaching stuff, just strictly teaching stuff, and the other channel be dedicated to just the Monday night live shows. Have a good week. Kisses from Kentucky, and I will see you later.